Builders were trying to raise a home in Gulfport in order to make FEMA code. But it didn't turn out exactly as planned. See, the house ended up basically falling apart. Just wait until you see that video. Our Chasity Byrd has a story for you tonight.
Lenise Ligon started his Monday with a phone call.
When my cousin, who lives right across the street, called me and says, "It breaks my heart to tell you this." And I said, "What, Frank?" He said, "Your house just fell off the banister things that they were on." And I said, "Really? Surely not." He says, "Yeah, it did." I said, "Well, I'll be right out there."
And this is what Lang saw when he arrived, his home falling apart. But Lang wasn't worried about his property. Instead, those working.
I knew there was 5 or 6 people out here, and I didn't know whether anybody was under there or not.
The home was being raised to meet FEMA regulations that came into effect after Katrina. James Hinton is project manager for TriStar Construction and says everyone had to act fast, including himself.
I was actually under the center of the house when it started to collapse, and I had about 4.5 seconds to get from there to the road. and you'd be kind of surprised at how quick you can do that.
Hinton says the home was set to be raised 10 feet. Those with TriStar say there are many factors that contributed to what happened. One of those being the amount of rainfall the area has seen, and the ground is very saturated.
It's already a dangerous situation in the first place when you're raising a building, but when you take into consideration the height here, the age of the building and the circumstances, this house in particular is actually sitting on an artesian well, which doesn't help the situation.
Hinton says termite damage may have also played a role. Hinton says next they will level the home so the owners can try to get out their belongings. Then a new home will be built. Reporting from Gulfport, Chasity Byrd, Fox 10 News.
Well, Lang's granddaughters and her 2 children were living in the home, but they had relocated while the house was under construction.